It's time for Rec Time, one of my favourite segments on this show. And today we're talking about a very popular sport. We haven't touched this subject before, but skateboarding, something that probably a lot of our listeners are interested in, and a lot of our listeners' kids perhaps are interested in. But it's something that hasn't come up before, and it's very, very widespread popularity in Perth. Now, joining me on the line is Dan Kerr, Skate Project Officer at YMCA Perth. Dan, thanks very much for coming on the show.
Hi, Tyson.
Dan, first of all, a lot of stereotypes about skateboarding. Obviously, we see kids out in the community, and a lot of times we think they're up to no good and all that sort of stuff. Just dispel some of those myths. Tell us about the sport and what it means to you.
Well, the skateboarding in Perth is extremely popular, as you said, and across WA. And skateboarding, I guess, consists of street skateboarding and then skateboarding in parks. And so when you see those kids out there, they're probably not up to no good, and they're usually pretty nice guys. The skateboarding culture itself is really fantastic.
And it's obviously something that a lot of kids are interested in, obviously asking their parents that they want to get involved. What is a good way for kids to start out, a safe way to get involved?
Well, there's a really good program we run down at YMCA HQ skate park, actually. We've got skate lessons every weekend, so Saturday and Sunday mornings. We've got beginner, intermediate and advanced classes, so you can come down. You can book online as well, but if you just come down, they're $20 per person, and we can hire a board and a helmet and everything.
Excellent. And there's obviously a lot of skate parks that are going, that are popping up around Perth at the moment. You mentioned there was headquarters for the YMCA. Whereabouts is that based?
It's in Frame Court in Leederville, which is the end of Oxford Street. Basically, if you head towards the train line, you can't miss it. It's on your left. And
that's basically where the YMCA, that's where you do your lessons, that sort of thing?
That's where the YMCA skate program is based, and also where our Youth and Community Services office is. So we run the whole skate program from HQ, and there's, as well as a skate park, there's also a gig space and a cafe.
Okay, so why do kids get involved in the sport? It seems like it can be quite dangerous, but it also looks like it's extremely fun. Yeah, it is.
Well, the truth is that skateboarding can be dangerous, but something like around 70% of serious injuries only occur to people who've been skating for 0 to 3 months. So after that, people generally learn how to, fall and learn how to skate, and everyone's all good. And it is an extremely fun sport, I guess, because there's not really any rules. It's sort of however you want to express yourself through skateboarding, you're able to.
So is skateboarding almost like a performance sport rather than a sport which is, I guess, a sport which is judged, like figure skating, something like that? Is that kind of, when you actually judge it, is that how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we find that skateboarding competition is a bit of a misnomer, because skateboarders are generally very happy for each other to do well at skating and very supportive of each other when they land tricks. So it's a really sort of cooperative and expressive kind of sport, and it's really, like I said, a really quite a friendly culture. And it's not competitive in a negative sense. It's more competitive, and skaters like to spur each other on to do better.
My guest is Dan Kerr. The skateboarding is the topic in Rec Time today, and Dan, I guess the other question is, there's some rumours, or there was some push to have it in the Olympics a couple of years back. Can you tell us about where that's at?
Well, yeah, I've heard about that, and actually for the leading skateboarding in Australia, they're actually opposed to that idea because of the reasons I sort of just mentioned, that it's not completely competitive. I do sort of foresee that eventually happening in one way or another, depending on a lot of factors, really. Because, we have snowboarding in the Winter Olympics, and that's massive.
Yeah, I guess the similarities in terms of, the fact you're riding a board and all that sort of thing. So skateboarding must have a chance down the track, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does have a chance, and it's been something that's been considered around the world for a long time. It just really takes I guess there's not such a thing as a sort of international unified skateboarding body in the same way that there is for a lot of other sports. So that's sort of something that could happen in the future. And apart from the Olympics, there's a lot of really prestigious skate competitions around the world already, so there's still a lot of opportunity for young skateboarders to compete and to win prizes and to potentially make a living as a skateboarder.
Okay, well, if our audience has any questions about how to get involved in skateboarding, do you have a website or something like that they can get in touch?
Yeah, absolutely, because the YMCA has a pretty big skate program. We've just finished our skate series of competitions this year, last Friday, at Leederville. We also run skate workshops, clinics and lessons. So if they want to find out more about that, they can go to hq.org.au and follow the links to the skate section. And if they want to check out photos from our skate competition series, they can go to facebook.com/YMCA Perth Skate Series.
All right, we'll put that website up on our Facebook page as well, Dan. Thanks very much for joining me on the program, and best of luck with your skateboarding ventures in the future.
Thank you very much, Tyson.